I still hear her words. Not a medical warning. A promise. And by the time I understood what she meant, it was already too late to leave. It was a Tuesday. My mother, Sarah, was recovering from a routine gallbladder surgery at a hospital in suburban Atlanta. I was exhausted, stressed, and counting the minutes until I could go home. Then, just before visiting hours ended, a nurse, her name tag reading Clara, leaned in close. Her voice was a low, urgent whisper. "Don't sign anything else tonight," she said, her eyes wide with an emotion I couldn't quite place. "And whatever you do, don't let them take her to room 413. She straightened up, gave a fleeting, unsettling smile, and then simply walked away down the long, silent corridor. I never saw her again. To understand why I didn't run right then, you have to understand the pressure of the American healthcare system. My mother's surgery was supposed to be simple, but complications arose, as they always do. The hospital was state-of-the-art, almost luxurious. Too luxurious, perhaps, for our modest insurance plan. The bills were already piling up like fresh snow, and every conversation with the hospital administration felt like a polite interrogation. They kept bringing forms. Consent forms for follow-up procedures, transfer requests, billing adjustments. My father had passed years ago, leaving me as the sole decision-maker. The pressure was immense. The nurse, Clara, had seemed different. Her warning had burrowed into my mind, a tiny seed of unease. But I dismissed it. Nurses are busy. Sometimes they're just tired or misinformed. What could room 413 possibly be? A storage closet? A janitor's break room? Around midnight, a young, earnest intern approached me. "Mr. Miller," he said, "your mother is experiencing some post-operative anxiety. We'd like to move her to a quieter, more private room for the night. Room 413. My blood ran cold. I hesitated. The intern noticed. "It's standard procedure for patients experiencing distress," he assured me, his voice calm and reassuring. "It's our top-tier private suite. No extra charge, given the circumstances." No extra charge? That was the magic phrase. My anxiety about the bills momentarily eclipsed the strange nurse's warning. This was a win. A free upgrade, a quiet night for my mother. It felt like a small victory in a stressful situation. I signed the transfer papers. I went up to room 413 to check on her. It was indeed a beautiful room, spacious, with soft lighting and a large window overlooking the darkened city. My mother was already settled, drowsy but seemingly peaceful. I kissed her forehead, relieved. The intern had been right. Nurse Clara was just being dramatic. I spent the next few days feeling a sense of quiet triumph. My mother seemed to be recovering well. The hospital staff were all smiles. The bills, while still substantial, didn't seem to escalate as quickly as before. I chalked it up to good fortune, to finally making a smart decision. I even bragged to a friend about the free upgrade. This hospital, I thought, was truly a place of healing. It was about a week after the transfer that I started noticing things. Small things at first. My mother seemed too calm. Her eyes, usually so bright and full of life, had a vacant, almost glassy quality. She'd respond to my questions, but her answers were always generic, bland. "I'm fine, dear. Just tired." I asked to see her charts. The nurses gave me vague responses. "Doctor says she's stable. Just a slow recovery." Then, I met another patient's family in the waiting room. They were frantic. Their father, also recovering from a routine procedure, had been moved to room 413 2 days ago. And now, he wasn't himself. He was withdrawn, unresponsive. A cold dread gripped me. I remembered Nurse Clara's words. "Don't let them take her to room 413. And then, the unnerving part of her warning, "Don't sign anything else tonight." I went back to my mother's room. I found a nurse preparing an injection. "What's that?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Just a mild sedative for her anxiety," she said too quickly. "Doctor's orders." I snatched the syringe. "Show me the order." She hesitated, then reluctantly showed me a digital chart. It wasn't signed by my mother's primary doctor. It was signed by a Dr. Elias Thorne, a name I didn't recognize. And beneath it, a tiny, almost invisible clause. Patient transferred to long-term cognitive care protocol. Long-term cognitive care. Sedatives. Room 413. My mother wasn't recovering. She was being placated, managed. The no extra charge wasn't a gift. It was a transfer to a quiet, medically induced stasis. A place where the hospital could keep patients, especially those with dwindling insurance or no active advocates, indefinitely. Room 413 wasn't just a room. It was a program. I looked at my mother's serene, empty face. She wasn't Sarah anymore. She was a shell, peaceful, but completely gone. And I had signed the papers. I had made it happen. I fought them. I brought lawyers, demanded explanations. The hospital produced every signed document. My signature. My consent. This no extra charge was simply an absorption into their long-term care budget, a cost offset by their research protocols that required compliant patients. Patients like my mother, whose only advocate had signed her away, thinking he was getting a good deal. I visit her every day. She smiles. She says, "I'm fine, dear." But the spark is gone. The fight, the laughter, the fierce love, all smoothed away by the sedatives and the silence of room 413. The truth is, hospitals are businesses. And sometimes their care isn't about healing. It's about optimizing. And I was too naive, too stressed, too trusting to see it. The nurse tried to warn me. She truly did. But I chose convenience over intuition. And I'll never forgive myself for that. Some warnings aren't about what's happening to you, but what's happening through you.